I think if you know how everyone has like for WrestleMania they have their own build up for their whole match as far as like getting to Mania this year,
Hmm.
and certain feuds are detailing a certain theme regarding their match setup or whatever else you want to say. Um, I had to think about some more. I was like, okay, Roman told Punk, I think 3 4 weeks ago, he told Punk that he hated him. Right?
Hmm.
I hate you. So if this promo was centered around pure hatred, with Roman detailing the Shield and Punk's involvement with the Shield back in the day, and how he took Paul Heyman away from him, this and that, and third, I think they went for the jugular and got as personal and as disrespectful as one could get. It reminded me of like when we see battle rap and when we see rappers, go for the jugular, and when they say certain things, you're like, wait a minute, I know he did not just say that. I know he did not just say it. Like we don't heard rappers talk about caskets. Your mother is this. Your sister was a stripper. We don't heard rappers like get very like grimy, right? So I had to think it from the standpoint of if this is based around that, it's a work shoot. I think it's a work shoot. I think Punk and Roman really don't have a problem with each other in real life. I'm just saying that right now. But in terms of them and incorporating what they're known for, I think that's what you got in both things. I think what Roman said was dope. I thought what Punk said was like, oh my gosh. But
So
they
like
got
what Punk said was like the only thing Punk said that was dope was the thing that he said bearing your next to your mom. Other than that, everything that Punk has done as far as
mhm.
stories and promos he kicked with everybody else was 20 times better than this one. 20, maybe 50.
I think the reason why is because they wanted to they gave more room for Roman, and I'm in agreement. And when you point it out like that, I think they gave more room for Roman to go after Punk by saying what he was saying to him about like well, there were some things that Punk that they say about Roman that was like low key true. Like he said, you did need help. He said you weren't necessarily fully alone by yourself. So you've been alone this whole time. He said you can't as far as get the job done. You've been known for doing that for a while now. So he did say that was similarity towards that. He said you're no longer with the Shield. He should also said you're no longer with the Bloodline. He had to say you already got the point. Um,
Right.
but he said like um, but then Roman said to Punk was like, you know what we do? We'll have you go on a John Cena retirement tour. Uh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
that was
love
like
the
when he said
40
that,
to
I
50
was like, here we go,
the the 40
here we
50
go.
year but that was pretty good though. But and then he said the 40 50-year old
That was
version
funny.
that was
That
hilarious.
was funny. I was like,
That
yeah,
was funny.
I
That was
got you.
hilarious. I said
I got
what?
you on that. I'm like, that was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool.
But when he mentioned the retirement suit, I think the whole goal was to be disrespectful as possible. And then when he said that, he said, "Then we're gonna have your, we gonna send your behind." He kept saying "we." We gonna send your behind over to NXT. You basically be retired at this
Yeah,
point,
that
and you're
was
gonna go.
crazy.
I was like, "Dang, yeah." And then
But
he
the
said, and then
reason why he
you're gonna
said
go
that
ahead and
because
train the next generation. I said,
but I
"Oh
but I
my
thought that
god."
I thought that Punk said he was trying to go over there and help Sean with that anyway. So I think that's one of the reasons why he said that though when he first came
Yeah,
back.
but Roman's saying but what was interesting was Roman was saying like he was implying that I'm gonna force you to do that anyway. Like even if you gonna go ahead, even if you got a plan of doing that, I'm going to force you to do that immediately because I got the ball basically. I got the
Right,
power to do that. So
right.
that's what made him so like cold. I'm like, bro, like that's so freaking cutthroat and ruthless. Like, but that's Roman Reigns right now, right? I love it. So when Pun said what he said about the father and talking about how you gonna bury your father, it told me that definitively they wanted Punk to get the last word over Roman. You can debate who won the promo all you want, but they wanted him to get the last word over Roman because I think they're trying to insinuate this feud is personal. So with him saying that, the next week Roman has to say something about his dog because his dog
He's not gonna
did
say
die.
nothing. They're not having another promo. It's over with. That promo's done. They did not say Roman's gonna be there next week, and trust me, he won't be. He will not be there. He'll probably be there the week before Mania, but it's not about to be a back and forth.
Mhm.
They're gonna kill it because that was dope, but they didn't announce. Hey, next week he'll be there. I don't think they're gonna keep letting him do it. They ain't gonna keep letting him do it. And think about it. Punk said he was gonna punch him in his mouth. There was no physical altercation. What happened?
Yeah, that was the one thing I did wish, especially after he said about the far line. After that far line, I would have beat Punk's behind like crazy. I
But
would
I
have
think,
dog.
but in my opinion, I think that's what gave the WrestleMania away. Regardless, I want to see it. I want to see it regardless. But I think that's what gave it away because now they're about to prove that he could do it by himself. That's why I was like, right when he said that, I was like, yeah, Punk about to lose because they're making it seem like Roman can't do nothing by himself. And remember, all last year he was losing all the time by himself. So now when you get an opportunity to actually level up on your being by
Mhm.
yourself,
Yeah.
and Punk just put it in there, I'm like, yeah, you're about to lose. Roman's about to beat you at Mania by itself, like he said. Like, dang, I wish he, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, the promo was perfect, but when he put that in there, I was just like,
And you know
why did you
what
even
though?
do that? You gave it away.
BZ, I watched your YouTube short. I want you to address this to our fans, right quick, to our Dirty Talk fans, by the way.
Right.
I want you to address this because I saw your YouTube short and I was like, bro, you have a great point. And the WWE does need to tighten that up a little bit in terms of what I'm about to tell you about. I think you know what I'm about to get to it.
With the Gunther and Dragon Lee?
No. Not even
Okay.
just that, but just
Okay.
WWE
All right.
overall. Because it wasn't just you pointed out about Punk and Roman. You
Oh,
pointed out about Gunther and Dragon Lee, and you pointed out about a few other segments, and I was just like, "Yo, that is an issue. That is a problem, and they do need to get that they need to tighten it up a little bit better because you're making it like you've been talking about like how they've been making it too obvious about
too
certain
obvious.
people, certain
Yeah.
outcomes, right?
Right.
I want you to touch on that right quick, and then I'm gonna give you the floor right quick. Then we're gonna get into Raw before we go ahead and do everything else.
Okay.
Yeah, because you need because BZ get that off your chest, bro. Because you've been
Oh,
saying
but
that for about a
what did
minute
you?
now.
What part did you talk about though?
Just overall, like it wasn't just Punk and Roman. You said it about. You said it about Dragon Lee and Gunther, and you said about
Yeah.
a few other things.
Yeah. But what's the few other things? Because I know I definitely said about the Gunther. Because when I seen Gunther coming to the ring with no jacket, I'm like something is about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it happened. And the reason why it happened is because this is not normal. Like, why would he go? He always comes down with that black robe all the time. This time he didn't even have the robe on. I'm like, bro, what? This is weird. Why? He had like he was just fighting in the back, and then he came in here to fight again. I'm like, bro, this is not your ring attire. What are you doing? So when Dragon
Yeah,
Lee jumped on him behind, I was like, come on, WWE, y'all got to do better than this. That was too obvious. Like, come on, bro.
I completely
What was
agree.
that? Yeah, I was like, I'm like, even with that, like, unless you don't want his robe messed up, you could have had Dragon Lee attack him some other way, but with the robe on or something. But not like that though. That was just crazy. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
that was weird. But what was the other thing you're talking about that I said? Because I made like
Well,
five,
you,
six
you you
shorts.
highlight the Punk and Roman thing where Punk said you can't win by yourself. So
Yeah,
now
the
now
story.
that's a storyline thread.
I mean, coming from a person who's been watching it since Warrior and Hogan and Macho Man and all of that.
Right,
Look,
right.
we look at it in a different light compared to the way that the new generation or people like yourself look at it when it comes to like story times and storytelling in the matches
Yeah,
and stuff like
yeah,
that. We don't really look at it like that. So when you give somebody a long segment like that, we're catching every word you're saying, and but
yeah.
also we're putting it into perspective of everything that you did before. So everything when we seen Roman when he came back since SummerSlam when the time that I was there, he been taking L's the whole time, except for when he tag teamed with Jey Uso at WrestleMania. What was that last year?
He won the tag match with Jey Uso,
Was
and
that
he
last year?
beat Bronson. I think he beat Bronson Reed back in Paris.
Yeah, and those two. But a lot of times he been losing, or not really like in matches, but like getting squashed, been getting beat up, been getting jumped, and all of that stuff. So I'm like,
Right.
bro, he's looking like he needs help.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he only time he had real serious help was when he was at what War Games, and they lost that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then another key factor that CM Punk said that I was just like, you didn't really have to say that. He was like, yo, I took your wise man. I was like, yeah, but where's the wise man in your corner? He's not there. So you took him, but at the same time, you don't got him either.
No, he took that. The way I interpret that was it was a slight dig. We know that was obvious, right? We know about him
And
not working with Kyle Hager.
Did you see that video? At that Mania or not Mania Elimination Chamber when they had that dude in the shadow on the side.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I did
That
see
looked
that.
like Paul Heyman, bro. I ain't gonna hold you.
then okay, so if he said he took his Wiseman, then Paul, then what Roman Reigns was saying about Punk, saying you've been fooling everyone that you've been doing this and you've been doing that. It could become you know. People have been saying this. The one recurring things that wrestlers tend to do with Punk, I find it to be very interesting, is they'll go, see, the audience see this version of you, but we know how you really are backstage. We know how you really, really are, right?
Right.
And it's
Yeah.
almost like they're trying to foreshadow that eventually Punk's going to really show you who he's really about. And this nice coming out to the crowd talking about is it good to be in, or what, right? That guy is not the real CM Punk,
Right.
right? Roman's been saying that. Seth
For
said
a
it.
long time.
Drew
Yeah.
said it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, now it's him saying it. And I'm like, okay, this is interesting. And if Paul Heyman is with CM Punk, by the way,
He
that's
was
all
right
right.
there in the corner. Bro, I seen that at Elimination Chamber. I was like, yo, but I didn't highlight it because I didn't think nobody else caught it. But I seen it at Elimination Chamber when he was in the back. I was like, bro, who was that over there on the side? But after somebody highlighted it again and put it on Twitter or whatever they put it at, it does look like Paul Heyman. And I'm like, if that's the case, and if
Mm-hmm.
they're trying to lean towards the vision to be under Punk, like we said from the beginning,
Oh gosh.
oh my god.
Oh gosh. Oh BZ.
Yeah,
Yo, you
that's what
cooking.
I'm saying. Like, I don't
You
know, man.
cooking.
It
You
makes total
cooking.
sense.
You cooking.
It
And
makes total sense.
did I not say that should happen?
Yep, you did say that.
I literally said that. And obviously you added your input on that too. Wow.
Yeah,
That would make
it
sense.
would make so much sense,
That would
right?
make so much sense. That would make sense for why Brock Breaker did what he did. And notice too, no one's been saying anyone from the division has been a leader. No one's been saying no one's a leader. It's just been
Yep,
Paul him coming out talking boom and boom. Brock's not a leader. Bronx ain't no leader. Logan ain't no
yep.
leader, and also ain't no leader. So who's the
Mm-hmm.
leader of the division?
Right.
So if CM Punk is revealed to be that leader, oh my! And you know what? If this leads to CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, but it's done in complete reverse, take
In
my money.
reverse.
Take my freaking money
Take my
now.
money.
Take my money now. And the great part is you called it. You said the crowd will love Seth Rollins. I
Yep.
think the crowd loves CM Punk too. Don't get me wrong. If you love CM Punk for whatever reason is besides like what he's known for doing,
Yeah.
cool. But I think Punk. I think if this is my opinion. This is just my opinion. I think in 2024 was
That's a good one.
I think so far Punk to me has done his best work in 2024 with Drew McIntyre,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
But I don't think he's done his best work quite yet, fully in the WWE yet this time around. And I think you're going to get that when he turns heel. And I know it's a cliche. Oh, turn heel, you do your best work. I know,
Right.
I get it. But the thing about Punk though is he will make it super interesting and more watchable than anyone has ever done before, only because he knows how to give you intrigue each and every single week.
Right.
That's the special thing about Punk. He knows how to give you intrigue every single week. For case in point, last year you called me and was like, I don't like him. I don't like Cody Rhodes. But you know what? I want to see that for Mania. Give me
Mm-hmm.
that match. Right? Why? Because of that promo alone left you so intrigued that you want to see them wrestle.
Right.
That's he has an innate ability of just doing that. So I say all that to say, if Punk is the guy who needs to be the heel versus Seth Rollins, who's babyface, I love it. Let's go.
Right.
Because Seth has been one. He's been trying to tell the fans like, y'all don't see what I've been seeing. Like I love you guys too, but y'all don't see. He's not real.
Right.
He's fake. I'm trying to tell you guys that this dude is not what he says he is to be. And if Punk is turning heel, he just proved Seth Rollins right. He proved Drew McIntyre right, and he proved Roman Reigns right. And not only does he prove them right, it goes to show you that Seth Rollins has been the hero in this story the whole entire time. It's just got miscalculated or misrepresented, basically,
Right.
whatever, however you want to say it. But my point is, that's how you go that route. I got goosebumps, bro. I'm glad you said that because
Yeah.
now I'm like, bro, I want to see that. I hope that
Me
comes
too.
to be true. I hope that comes to be true. I really do. But yeah, no, but you've been saying that for a while though. Like not even just with them, but like with their weekly shows, I would say more so their weekly shows. Like, okay, matter of fact, no, I take that back twice.
Okay.
Matter of fact, 3, 4. You said 4 times. It wasn't just Punk and Roman. It wasn't just the Gunther and Dragon Lee. You said it for Kofi Kingston and Javon Adams last week,
Okay.
right?
Right.
But this week, and keep in mind, this 7 didn't even come on to Raw yet. You called me. I said, "What's up, Easy?" You said, "Bro, who you got to face AJ for the IC title?"
Right.
I said, Natty. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what BD told me? He said EO Sky.
Yep, I did.
I love it. I love it. Within 15, 20 minutes later, I'm watching Raw.
Yeah.
We see Bailey and Laura Valkyrie in the same time about they're gonna go for ice tile themselves. Boom, opens the door. Out comes who? EO.
Yeah.
I said, ain't there some? I said, I know this dude did not. He just said this. He just freaking. I said, I said, okay, I'm gonna call this dude. And I questioned. I said, did WWE got BZ on the payroll?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I just gotta ask the question. But nah. But you've been pointing out, and then I said, how'd you figure that out? And it was the same answer you just gave me not too long ago. They make it too obvious.
Man, it's too obvious. That's what I'm saying. It's too obvious, bro. If you really pay attention to what they're doing, it's like they're showing you the end result without making it a surprise. And it's just like, and they don't do it like
Yeah.
purposefully, like making it that obvious. But some things that they do just be too obvious. I'm like, bro, come on. Rhea just won. Io is one of the best champions. AJ Lee is out there. Now all of a sudden, Io is right there. I'm like, yo, that's dope. But then also I seen something with Raquel Rodriguez that did an interview with a lady talking about she would love to go after AJ Lee. So what the WWE is probably about to do was do a tournament for the Intercontinental title joint, which means that AJ Lee won't be fighting again until Mania.
No, they announced a 6-pack challenge.
Yeah, oh yeah, or something like that.
Yep.
So now it's like AJ Lee's like I'm gonna be a fighting champion. I'm like I respect it, but when the next time you about to get in the ring though?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't touch the ring till Mania, are you really a fighting champion? Because CM Punk just said it's 7 weeks away.
It was almost like they insinuated that she was going to have an open challenge
I did
on Raw
too. That's
last
what I'm
night.
saying.
But they
That's
just,
what I'm
but for
saying.
some reason, they kind of like just made it very awkward by just having her celebrating the ring and talking to her what
It
she
was
did with the
terrible, bro.
crowd and doing.
The
I said,
fan,
okay,
yeah, the fans wasn't involved. No, nothing. It was bad. It was bad.
yeah, shout out to yeah. Was it Indianapolis?
Uh huh.
Yeah, do better, please. Do better. U.S. States. See, and go back to that trend you were saying, BZ.
Uh huh.
We don't deserve these shows, bro.
Yep.
We're spoiled. Except for when you see the promo segment between Roman and Punk, but
Hmm.
still spoiled. Anyways, but yeah, it's it, it. You know, it's funny. As soon as you just said what you just said just now, I said to myself, if that's going to be the case, what is the point of watching WWE on the real then?
That's true. If you automatically telling us
Why?
what it's gonna be,
Yeah.
this is Unreal Live right now
Yes. Why should I even watch WWE on the real when you're basically blatantly telling me what's going to happen? You've
already.
insinuated so much buzz. You should want to keep some mystique, just for anything. I get it. Predictable is not always a bad thing. I get that. It's not always a
Right.
bad thing. I still stand by that. Larry's like, no, it is. I said, no, it's not always a bad thing. And trust
Right.
me, a lot of times when it's obvious, it's going to be obvious. But when it's too obvious, that's the problem.
Right.
It's not a matter of us going, we can't see. It's like that's what I'm saying. I don't want to see John Cena versus Randy Orton next week on Raw, but they somewhat teased it a week prior.
Right.
Okay, I want to watch it. I want to see that. That's not too obvious. If anything, we know the history between Cena and Randy Orton. We're used to it. But if you do it a thing where John Cena and Randy Orton are teasing them going into a tag team, and then somehow, some way, Randy Orton is looking to spec John Cena somehow, some way, and we're like, We can tell that from a mile away. Why? Because Ray Orton's known for being a bad guy.
Yeah,
So y'all can't be doing the same thing for other talent. It's just too much. Too much of it is not always good, bro.
too much,
That's
and
just
they're
what it
doing
is.
it too much, bro.
Too much, man. They gotta do
They're
better,
doing
bro.
it
They gotta do
too
better.
much. They just gotta cover it up, tighten it up, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Tighten it up. It used to be all right. The ideas be cool,
Exactly.
but we can't call wrestling every week. We call that junk every week. Why watch it?
Literally. Yes, right.
If we called it
That's
every
right.
week, why watch it?
That's so freaking true. That's so even true. Like I heck, we can watch
We
it every
already know
day.
what's going about to
Yeah.
happen. We already know such and such about to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah. We already know such and such about to do this. No, we didn't know
We
that.
should know it.
Like I didn't know. I didn't know how they was gonna do Dominant like that. I didn't know Penta was gonna win that because we had Dominant versus Finn. We didn't have Dominant versus the title. We didn't have Dominant versus Finn for not for the title. We didn't know that Finn wasn't gonna allow what you call it to help and all that. That was different. I didn't see that coming.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We'll get to that. We'll definitely get into
We
that.
we yeah, we know what I'm
I'm
saying. We
glad.
knew something was gonna happen, but we didn't
And
know.
my home,
I didn't know it was gonna be that.
right. And shout out to my homeboy Corey. He called. I called him the other day about that, and he was like saying to me like he expected Finn Balor to low key like have like help. You know what I'm saying? As far as like at Chamber or like he was gonna have Judgment Day. You know what I'm saying alongside with him. And I said if you watch Raw, because he didn't watch Raw fully or something. I said watch
No,
Raw fully. And I said, and you'll see why it pays off later in the show, like from last night.
yep,
And he's like, okay, bet. So I told him that because what I was trying to get him to understand was they were saving the whole inclusion of that for this week on Raw, and
exactly,
it
which
made
makes total
complete
sense now.
sense. It made complete sense. It made
Complete
sense
sense.
why Finn Balor went against Punk straight up, and there was no outside help. I said, okay, cool. They didn't do the obvious, which was that was obvious because everyone was saying the same thing. Oh,
Yep.
WWE is going to help Finn Balor, boom, boom. Because WWE didn't give it to you, that tells us they're not going to always give us what we want.
Right.
Great, they shouldn't. So, anyways, um, let's go right here and get into Raw, man. Let's get this going pot right now. The Vision comes out. Logan Paul's pissed. Theory is whatever. Paul Heyman is, upset. And they're just fueled by Theory and vengeance. Shout out to Bleacher Report for saying this about them. They interrupt the proceedings and threaten to hold a show hostage until Seth Rollins had appeared.
Right.
Instead, Alan Pierce comes out. He claims there would be no holding no show up and that he would have to have a conversation with Seth Rollins, who has yet to be physically cleared for any competition. And then before we know it, we saw several mass decoys come out,
Which
to the
was dope, by the
crowd.
way.
I thought it was
Whoever's
very
idea
dope.
this was
I'm
amazing.
gonna tell you, and I'm gonna tell you what he gave me, what kind of advice he gave me. I'm gonna see if you can guess it when I ask you the question. But we see them come out. There's one decoy that walks up to Paul Heyman, and Paul's thinking it's Seth Rollins. But no. Seth Rollins comes into the ring. We see Seth. We're like, oh, that's Seth. Takes the mask off. The crowd pops like crazy. I love that. They didn't make it too, whatever. But anyways, smacks Paul Heyman's back the same way he done did it multiple times when
The
it came to the
Roman and all
Shield.
that. Yeah, or the
The
Shield,
Roman
yep.
and all them, as far as the Shield, it was a nice callback to 2014. I loved it. Hit Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman sells it down, sells it really good. Seth goes over to the corner, hits the curve stump, knocks Paul Heyman's raw with fat behind in the middle of the ring. His hair is all out, you know what I'm saying?
He
And
sold
he,
that.
yeah, comes around. The crowd is cheering for him like crazy, and he leaves, you know what I'm saying, the arena. Oh, I forgot to mention, the decoys ended up leading Logan and Theory away from the ring, by
Uh-huh.
the way. Just so
Yep.
everyone's clear. That's what happened. But, BZ, tell me I'm going to ask you right now. What did that segment with Seth Rollins and the decoys remind you of? I'm gonna ask you right now, and I'm gonna see if you can guess it because I know what it reminded me of right then and there.
When I seen all them decoys come out doing all of that,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that reminded me of the Americano joint that's going on right now. That's what to me.
To you, okay. I
Yeah, to
love
me.
that. I
But
love that answer.
all those
That's actually
different
pretty valid too.
yeah,
That's
all
actually
those
pretty valid
different
too.
people coming out with the mask on and all that, you don't know if it's John. You don't know if it's Chad Gable. You don't know if it's yeah. That's what it reminded me of. I was like, wow, this is crazy. Y'all playing around too much. It was cool nonetheless.
It
I love it.
reminded me. I love it too. It reminded me of Sting. Yep,
Why are you a thing?
because Sting was known for doing that. Sometimes Sting, like during, like if you're talking from
Oh,
WCW,
WCW with the white
yeah,
face. Yep, you're right.
yeah. When people would be thinking over Sting, so you like punch them, and it'd be like always he's surrounding the ring. But when we start beating them, they had the same mask on.
You
Boom,
don't
boom,
know
boom.
which one is
And
which. Yep.
yeah, and then I
Uh-huh.
think it was either above Bagley or his Macho Man. One of them had punched Sting, and they were thinking, oh, this is another decoy. Punch him, right? And Sting standing in the middle of the ring. You're like, oh, that's Sting, that's Sting, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's like that's what it gave me. Like not very similar, but in a way, well, not
I
the
get it.
same, but very similar.
Yeah, I
Yes,
get it. Yeah, I get it.
yeah. I'm like Sting is like the new vigilante of WWE. I mean, Seth Rollins is the
Yeah.
new vigilante of WWE. I
Yeah.
love it,
Facts.
bro. I freaking love it. I love it. I love it because and this whole decoys of him surround those guys with him. I wonder to myself like I
Who
don't think
is
we're
all
getting
those
infection.
guys? Yeah, I want to know who all
I
those
don't think
guys
we're
is.
getting infection. I don't think we're getting infection with Seth Rollins.
No, we not. We just
And we don't
getting the
need to.
decoy. We just getting the decoy.
We're
Yeah.
just getting decoys.
You
It's
don't
been
know which
decoys
one
this
is
whole
Seth.
entire time.
Yep. You don't know which one is Seth, but yeah, you just looking at masked men everywhere, but you don't know which one is which. Yeah. It's dope.
Yup.
I love it.
And Seth Rollins did what he did. You know what I'm saying? Took off his mask, went through the crowd once again. Give me chill vibes.
Yep. I love it.
Um, yeah, it's awesome and it's great. And the great part is we have yet to hear Seth Rollins speak. We're still kept in mystery, which leaves us intrigued for the next week of Monday Raw. Love it.
Yep.
Absolutely love it.
And
Now,
he feeding with the crowd because the crowd is going crazy and he yelling with the crowd and all of that. So
literally,
yeah, it's lit.
and the crowd chanting his whoa, bro, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's
It's
lit.
once I saw that, I said this Raw is fire. This Raw, matter of fact, no. I take that back. That was a great launching pad. When Gunther and Jordan Lee
Oh
came
yeah,
out and
that
started having their
yeah,
match, I said, "Oh, this Raw is
yeah,
fire.
bro.
This
That
Raw is
was
fire. This is
that was
what we
different.
needed. This is what we freaking needed. Why? Because here's my and BZ. Tell me if I'm wrong. It felt like Raw was being very slow and downtrodden for weeks. Like just
Oh
everything was just
we was down
slow.
talking. We was down
Yeah.
talking there for the past couple of weeks. We was like, yo, these Raws have been terrible. Yep.
Yes. Because there's no action. There's no physicality. There's no oomph. Like you need some more oomph. We need some more oomph into the shows. We need some more like chaos happening to where we're like, whoa, what's going on? What's going on? What's going to happen? Boom, boom, boom. We need those feels. And so when Seth comes out, and then we're like, okay, now we're going to get Gunther versus Dragon Lee. Okay, cool. We already know that whole feud. Dragon Lee's been taking Gunther for weeks, and they kept that same storyline thread happening. He attacked him from the back. Now,
Right.
minor critique, and BD's right about this critique, you guys. Gunther should have never come out without his freaking cape.
Yeah.
There was no there was no point of him not having his cape on. He's been coming out with his cape on. What was the point of him not coming out with his cape on?
Right.
Unless Gunther was just like, I'm coming in, I want to get this over with. I'm not even trying to put on no cape on. But unfortunately, we don't have confirmation on the man saying that himself.
That too
So
though.
why did he
I
not
agree
come
with
out
that.
with his cape on? Or not his cape on, his
With his robe.
necklace,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, his robe. Yeah, thank you. His
Mhm.
robe. Why did he come out with that?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. All right. There you go. So BZ got a great point with that one. You know,
Yeah,
saying we
that
have
just
five
looked
for that
weird.
one,
I didn't know
bro.
what it was, but it just looked weird. Whatever.
Yes. Yes. BZ spot on when it comes to knowing attention to detail. So you gotta pay attention to what be happening on these shows, man, for real, for real. But let me see your take on this about Seth Rollins. It is impossible not to recognize the shell of his former self that the vision is. Oh yeah, it's not the same. The use of hooded masked men to draw theory and Paul's attention was clever fun, and the reveal of Rollins was extraordinary done.
Right.
Agreed. The crowd erupted for the architect, further proving they never really wanted to boo him. This is
In the
what
first
BD
place,
said. BD said this. Who's writing this article? Who's on this article? Who did this article, man? Hold on. Eric Beeston. Okay, shout out to Eric Beeston. Eric Beeston, you and BZ, it must be of the same mind. Respect, respect,
Period.
respect. Okay, I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that. It's all good. It's all good. I ain't tripping. Further proving they never really wanted to boo him in the first place, apart his heel turn last spring.
Right.
This was a hot start to the show that felt relevant and urgent. Yes, putting Rollins in the opening segment was the right call and
Yep.
gave us one of the biggest stars on the show right on the heels of a big return on ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yep.
sir. Yes, sir. Now, before I move on to Jeremy and go there some more, BZ, Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins,
Yeah, I said that. I don't know,
or
but
or Brock Lesnar versus LA Knight.
mm, I can
And by the
more.
way,
I
shout
can
out to the
more
Sports
now.
Entertainer on YouTube. He did a short about LA Knight with Jimmy Uso talking about how this makes him going after Brock Lesnar, LA Knight himself. So go
It
ahead.
makes sense. I mean, it makes a little bit more sense now due to the fact that you know what I'm saying. Because at first, well, I mean, yeah, at first we didn't know what LA Knight was doing because everybody else was busy. But now with Brock coming back outside with Paul in his corner, it makes more sense. Especially since he's the person who took Paul, because we don't know where he took him,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and Brock could be looking for him, and they could use that.
Mm-hmm.
They could use that. But if that's the case, then what is Steph doing in Mania? Is the Braun Breaker
Somebody said
the
somebody.
Braun
I
Breaker
think
returns?
my
Is the
guy
Braun
just Alex said on YouTube. He said Seth Rollins don't necessarily need a wrestler. He don't need
he
to
don't.
be at Mania.
That's true. That's a
That's
thousand percent
true.
true.
That is very true. Even with him not necessarily. And if you want to, and he said the only reason why he's saying that is because he's like, if you want to protect Seth from not risking injury furthermore, or let him just breathe it, let him just wrestle just a little bit more before he's able to be
I
match
agree.
clear, he would have it happen. And I said that makes total sense. At first I was
It
like,
makes total sense.
you don't want Seth Rollins to be on the show? I was like, bro, you got if you're not
But
feeling
I'm
Seth, but I'm like, oh, I get it though.
gonna say this: if he keeps interrupting everything, then 10 times out of 10, he's gonna be the reason why the Vision loses to the Usos. And if that's the case, then the Usos are still gonna have the championship after Mania.
Yeah.
Wasn't the Vision supposed to lose? Oh, I mean, wasn't they supposed to win for Jeremy and them to leave?
Mm.
That's why I'm down. See, that's why I'm like,
We
I don't
we
know
we
what's
hold
going
on.
on.
We was going this whole I want to go to Usos right quick. Let's hold off on Usos right quick because I got something to say about that one, bro. I got something to say about that. But before we get to there, I will say this, and this is where the plot thickens even more. Austin Theory was the initial masked man guy, and I have to ask the question again. BZ, do you think he could also be a decoy for Seth Rollins? Keep in mind, Theory said in his promo, he said on microphone, he was like, I at one point in time was affiliated with Seth
He
Rollins,
definitely said
and
that. He
he did
definitely
say
said
this,
that.
right? He did say this, and he played it off like that was back then. This is now. I'm not with Seth Rollins no more,
Yeah, he
right?
definitely said that. Yeah.
But notice you was the first one to be unmasked as the masked man guy. Then all of a sudden Seth comes back as the masked man guy, and he had decoys. Okay,
Oh, that's a
something's
good
not adding
one.
up here. Something's not adding up here. You see what I'm saying? Like there has to. You see what I'm saying? Like it feels.
Hold on, wait a minute. So when Austin Theory came back as the masked man, who was Austin Theory going after? When he going after CM Punk? What
He
was he doing?
was. He went out to CM Punk. Then at one
Oh
point it was
yeah,
LA Knight, a few other
yeah.
baby faces.
That's good. That's good. With them trying to find out what he actually is involved in what way, because it did look like he was with Seth at one point, but now it don't look like it. But in a
No.
way, does it though? I don't know. I don't know.
This is where I
I
gotta
think
give WWE credit because they are
I
taking as much as we give them credit, we give them crap sometimes. We do. Trust me, we gonna still do it regardless of
I
what.
think I think the
This is
ball
where they
was
give them
dropped
credit.
because of the injuries. I think the ball was dropped because of the injuries. I think if the injuries never happened with Brunson Reed and Brown Breaker, then I think that Austin Theory could actually still be a part of the step thing. But I think now with them being injured, I don't think he can. I think they really got to just lock him in at that position for now.
That is interesting though. It
Because
still
if
is
because
movement though.
because if he turns and B's on set side, then there's nobody else there but Logan. There's
Oh,
no
that's true.
vision. That don't
I
make no
mean, besides
sense.
Logan, you got Brock. I mean, that's
And Brock probably don't claim the vision. He just claim Paul Heyman.
that is true. he
Yeah, he don't
he
claim
don't
the
be with the
vision.
vision a whole lot. He don't be with the vision.
No,
Every time you see him with Paul, it's just him and Paul. There's no vision alongside with him, anything like that. There's no best segment with him and the vision.
at
Which, by the
all.
way, that would be dope to see him and Braun and Bronson talk backstage. That would be hilarious. But anyways, I don't think we ever will get that. It would be dope though. But anyways, um, yeah, just a question I want to ask you and throw in before we get to the match. Okay, next we have, like I said, Dragon Lee versus Gunther. BZ. This may have been, in my opinion, matter of fact, no. This did not happen first. Backstage, Max turned into a bloody Heyman. His face was all bust open with blood.
Oh
People,
yeah,
people said it was ketchup. If it was
it
ketchup,
was
that's
it was
hilarious.
something. What are them blood
Um,
patches things? Yeah,
yeah, man, come on now. Until Jimmy Uso beat down Austin Theory, I said, wait a minute, Jimmy. I said, what was going on? Oh, he was thinking that he had something to do with Jay Uso. I said, okay, cool.
yeah.
And then LA Knight was in the car. I'm not gonna lie, BZ, I cracked up watching that. That
I
was
was
funny.
weak when I
I was
seen it.
crying.
I'll get him where he needs to go. I was like, oh man, so
I
he's
said, this
still
is
after the
crazy.
vision.
I said, LA Knight's tripping. He did something wrong with him, man. And they were like, come on, like, you know what I'm saying? You got to help Paul out. He said, what you guys, I think it was Logan in Theory Heavy crying. They was like, what y'all doing? He's bleeding. Give him something to go right here and put over his face. And Paul had to hold his nose for the blood.
Yeah.
That's it. Yo, that was hilarious. That was super funny. But anyways, yeah, that was a good segment. It reminded me of Steve Austin back in the Attitude
Oh,
Era.
that's what I'm saying. They got back to
It
the
reminded me of
attitude
that.
era a little bit. They got back to the
Yeah, bro.
attitude era a little bit. That's why I was like, yo,
Yeah,
this is
bro.
lit. And it was cold because LA Knight had his head turned the whole time. Because when I seen
Yep.
Jimmy walking to the door, I'm like, why is he? What is he doing? Somebody got to be there. When I seen LA Knight turn his head, I said, oh yo, they having a blast right now. They they having a blast right now. Cause that
Yep.
hit, that segment hit.
That
That
was
was
dope.
perfect.
That was dope. And that's how and then I think shout out to their production team. They transitioned night from that happening to Dragon Lee versus Gunther. Gunther
Yeah.
comes out, Dragon Lee attacks him from backstage. I said, this is getting crazy.
All the
This
smoke,
Raw is
bro.
getting crazy.
All the
We
smoke.
had Seth, the whole decoy situation, the ambulance segment with Jimmy Uso and LA Knight, which
And
was
then
funny.
yeah,
Then we
banger.
got this. I'm like, let's go.
It
Let's
was
go.
a banger. They could have cut Raw off after that match if they wanted to. They could have
Yeah.
cut Raw off. Yeah.
They were like, WWE basically said, you guys think we do not care about what any of you guys are saying? Wrong. Watch
Yeah.
this. I said, okay, all right.
Watch this.
And this match was so good. Shout out
Oh
to
my god.
Eric Beeson. He said in the arena, Dragon Lee attacked Gunther during the Ring General's entrance, jump-starting their advertised match. What ensued over the next two segments was the best TV match of 2026 so far. He
Hands
said this is the
down.
best TV match. I'm like, dang.
Hands down. Hands down. That
You
match was different, bro. Hands down. I gotta
you
agree with
put
him.
this match over everything Punk did with Braun, AJ,
I
and
gotta
Finn Balor.
I gotta agree with him, man. The reason why I gotta agree with him is because
Go ahead.
that
Yeah.
looked like it was over. It looked
Mm-hmm.
like it was the way he was dog walking Dragon Lee, bro. He put him in power bomb twice, counted the 2 count, lifted him up, took him out the ring, power bombed him out there on the floor, power bombed him on the table, pushed him onto the joint, did it
Oh my
on the
gosh.
apron, all of that. Do the count out, went out there and tried to do that again, and then he flipped it, bro. And then Dragon Lee put that. I've never seen Gunther in the man. Gunther was getting dog walked yesterday, bro. I was like, yo, this guy Dragon Lee, he's telling y'all like, bro, I belong, bro. I don't know what y'all doing. I can do
and
this with
I hope
anybody.
and I hope the rumors is not true that the WWE decides to not renew his contract and let him go. Because if y'all do that, AEW is
Yeah.
gonna pick him up, and that's
And,
a bad
and
move
they
on
gonna
y'all part.
clean up.
Bad
I'm
move on your
talking,
part.
man, what?
Do not let Dragon Lee go. After seeing that,
After that, yeah,
they better come to Dragon Lee after that match and be like, yo, we got a new contract for you, bro.
bro,
We're not letting you
exactly,
go.
bro,
You better not let him go, bro. I swear, if I
bro.
hear he's gone, I'm pissed.
I don't know.
But anyways, Lee absorbed. To your point, Bees. This is what it says. Lee absorbed everything Gunther threw at him and survived, finding his way back in the match. When the former world
Man,
champion exhibited overconfidence, the luchador made him pay for it, unleashing his arsenal on Gunther on the arena floor and nearly defeating him by countout.
my
Back
God.
inside the square circle, his grab was cut short as Gunther caught him, transitioned into the sleeper, and removed Lee's mask,
Yeah, the
left that
mask, and that's why I
to,
was over. That's the
yep, the
only
tap
reason
out.
why the match was over. Because the mask came off.
Yep.
Right when I
That
seen
was
the mask
crazy.
came off, I was like, dang, man, because you can't sneak the mask back on his face. It's over.
Yeah, so it's done. It's done. And then their culture, for those that don't know, as far as luchador culture, in wrestling, the mask is very important. You cannot
It
have your mask
is.
looking like that. You really
Nope.
cannot. It's very traditional for them. That's why they're like, and people be like, well, that's because you're ugly. No,
No, they ain't
it
got
has
nothing to do with
nothing
it.
to do with them being ugly. It has everything to do with them being like, bro. I always find it to be funny because people be like saying like, oh, that's why you be having a mask on because you're ugly. I'm like, no, they
No,
wear
they did
their
that.
masks
They
on.
used that for Kane. That's what it was. They used that for
Yeah,
Kane. Because when Kane unveiled his face, he was looking crazy. That's why everybody was like, oh, no, everybody with masks, they got some type of
that
problem with
was
them or
crazy.
something. But yeah,
That was
no,
crazy. But the idea of Kane removing his mask was to show whether or not he had
that burn, right? When it was burning face,
yeah, like he had
when he was
a
burning
burn around
fire.
his face, or that he was like
Uh-huh.
scarred from his face. But it was
Yeah.
revealed he never was burned scarred from his face. He just thought about that mentally,
Yep.
which is what made Kane's shift into being the bald headed Kane great
Yep.
because he started really like dabbling into that. Like
Yep.
think about this for a second. Kane put Jim Ross on freaking fire, bro.
Yep.
We saw that on live television, bro.
Yep.
I
Yep.
forgot about that. It's crazy,
Yep.
bro. WWE, like, see, and that's the type of stuff that they need to get back to,
They got to
in my
get back
opinion.
to that to make people
They
want to
do.
watch, bro. It make people want to watch.
Yes,
You
you
be
got to
more
watch it.
safer with it, but make people want to watch.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Which is why I think Punk and Roman Reigns accomplished that to a degree. Just so you know, BZ. That's one of the reasons why. Even though it's controversial, I get it. It does make you want to see what's going to happen next. Um, the pace of the show to this point has been frenetic. Love it. Where is this urgency usually? It should never be preserved exclusively for WrestleMania season.
Facts.
Lee looks fantastic here, hanging in there with a competitor widely considered one of the best professional wrestlers on the planet, and never looking out his realm. The intensity in this one escalated exponentially late. The crowd was all into it, and the result was an even better match than we had seen to that point. The finish, with Gunther removing the mask to expedite the submission, was extraordinary. A stellar conclusion to a great match.
Yep.
Come on now. Come on now. Come on now.
You gotta get it back,
I
bro.
don't even say
You
anything.
gotta get him back. That was beautiful work.
It was incredible, brother.
That was beautiful. I was like, man,
Yes, it was.
Dragon Lee, and that's what we were saying. What was it the other week, or it might have been the video that I just posted that came out today, when
Yes.
me and you was talking, and we was talking about how the WWE is taking the cruiserweights or taking the luchadors out of the WWE, but everybody that is luchador skill, they're proving that they can fight with the big boys. They don't need to be in that
Yes.
category. And Dragon Lee just proved that. Like, bro, don't put me in there with no luchador regular. No, I can bang with all of them. I can put you. I went with head to toe with the best wrestler in WWE right now, and almost beat him.
And I tell you this much: one of the craziest spots before they went on commercial break was when Dragon was beating down Gunther, and he ran to Gunther, and Gunther did that back body drop over him, and
Yeah,
Dragon got so much height on it and fell
yeah,
onto the mat. I said, "Oh my gosh!
they selling, bro. I'm like, bro, they selling,
Oh my gosh!
and I'm buying.
Oh my
I'm
gosh!"
buying.
I said
They're
that.
selling, and I am
I
buying.
said that.
Now
Yup.
now I'm excited to see like that Dragon Lee versus a Penta, Dragon Lee versus Evans, all that, because now they don't look like regular people now, bro. They
Yup.
don't look like that. Like they don't look like that no more. They look like, bro, I could go after any title I want to because I'm good enough to fight all of y'all. Dragon Lee just proved to be like Dragon
And
Lee was like, bro, I am the next AJ Styles. That's what it looked like. It looked. That's how
oh
he fought.
gosh,
He fought like
yes.
he was the next AJ Styles. I was like, oh my god. I didn't know he was like that. I always heard he was nice, but I didn't know he was like that.
I'm gonna say
He
this right
shut me
now,
up.
and the crazy part, and that's the And I have always knew in the back of my head, I said these talents WWE has hired. I've seen them work outside WWE, and I always knew how talented they were. It's just the WWE style. You got to get used to it and get ready before you ever have your coming out party. But check this out. Last year, Gunther gave Carmelo Hayes, in my opinion, his best match.
That's a fact. He did.
He gave Sol Sequoia his best match.
He did. He did.
Javon Evans, I think, so
Whatever.
far on the main roster, when you think about his main roster match, best match, right?
Yep, he did. Yep, he did.
And then you give Dragon Lee his best match, like something about what you do and how you are doing it. Like Gunther had to study a lot of wrestling prior to going to WWE.
That's a fact.
Like, how are you this good? It's almost like if you would say like the guy is low-key perfect, it's hard for me to say I don't believe you.
Right.
And I know people are gonna be like, bro, Gunther's not that perfect. He's not all he does
What?
is go. I'm like, bro, I don't care what Gunther what it is that all he does. I'm talking about the body of the match.
Yeah,
I'm
bro.
talking about when you watch a match and you go, wow, 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 left and right every single time.
Exactly.
There's no way. You ain't never seen nobody ever do that. Not to sit here and say that Cena has been able to pull off some bangers or anybody else has, but we've seen sometimes where they've always had a miss.
Exactly.
I can't
Because
recount
of
a
the
time where
partner.
I've seen a match. Bro, BZ, what match has Gunther done to where
No.
he's missed?
None, bro. And he has different partners every week.
Yes.
Every week he has different partners, and and they end up being flawless every time. I'm like, bro,
Yes.
the dude different, bro.
Yes. And even though
He
it was
different.
my favorite match of Gunther's, but even he put a quality match with Goldberg.
Yeah, for
I
real.
said,
Yeah, he
nobody
did.
understand Goldberg like that.
With anybody. And
Cena.
let's not forget what he did with Solo.
Bro, I just brought that up. Like, gave
Man,
Solo his best match on a roster. I'm like, how did Solo Sequoia this game on good? And
yeah,
I was
bro.
like, I knew he was good, but I didn't know he can put on a battle like that.
The
I knew
partners,
he can show some more of what he can do, but he ain't never give it the opportunity. The
the
WWE said,
partners.
let's give him Gunther, and you're going to have a great match.
Yep, the partner. You seen what Finn did with CM Punk, or vice
Yes,
versa. The partner.
yes, yes, bro. Finn Balor's incredible. Punk's incredible.
Both of them. You put that
All
together. That's an
very good.
instant.
Punk did a
That's
great job
instant.
with Gunther. Punk did great.
Drew
Yeah,
Drew
come on, man.
McIntyre.
Drew
That's
McIntyre was
instant.
great too. Yeah, it's
Punk
just
do
a
it.
few
Punk
guys
do
who
it.
got it, bro. You got it. You gotta. I think it takes time for one. It takes a lot of time for it to be developed as a great wrestler like that. But you also have to learn over time what works and what doesn't. I think Gunther found out years ago what didn't work,
Yep.
and so he keeps doing what works every single time. Okay, this Journey League guy I'm wrestling with. There's things that I can do that he can't do. But the
Yep.
things that he can do, I can't do. So let me spotlight the things that he can do very well,
Uh-huh.
and people don't know about Gunther, but he's one of the most selfless in-ring performers I've ever seen in WWE.
Yep.
He's super
Facts.
selfless. He
Yep.
will make sure that you get your stuff in, and
Yep.
he's gonna make it work every single freaking time.
Every
Before
time.
bro, come on, man. We
He
can say we
different.
can go on a full hour talking about Gunther and how great Gunther is.
Exactly. That's why
I'm not crazy.
that's why I don't understand why
I'm not
Larry
crazy
don't like
guys.
him. That's why I don't
Me
understand why
neither.
Larry don't like him, because
Me
bro, dude
neither.
different.
But you know,
Dude
I
is
tell you what I
like
think
that.
it is. I tell you why I have I have a theory. I have two theories. One, I think one, and I'm trying. This is not me trying to call in that R word. You know, I'm trying to get at right.
Oh man, yep.
I'm not trying to go there. But I remember there was a time where when a wrestler that the WWE brought in that was foreign came in, he was like, "Oh my gosh, I don't want to see them."
Right.
Why? Because WWE will push him, and this man was a big fan of politics, right? So he pushed hard on the Iraqi,
Oh yeah.
Iran stuff. He did do that
Oh
back for a
yeah.
time. As a matter of fact, they had to
Oh yeah.
get. Oh, you remember with the unfinished
Yeah,
segment
yeah.
on
Yeah,
SmackDown?
yeah. Yep.
Oh boy! So I don't need to say much more about that. If you want to do your
Right.
research, go to YouTube. You'll know.
Yeah,
But the point
facts.
is, yeah. But the point is, you
Oh
will get to things like that happening. So even with Rusev, I'm not gonna lie. Early on when Rusev came around, I was once I wasn't a fan of him. I didn't care for Rusev.
but they had him going after the American. Ah, that
He
randomly. Yeah.
that was it. That was
Yeah.
it. So when you see
Uh-huh.
Rusev, right?
Yeah.
So when you see Rusev beat
U.S.
Big
title and
Show,
all of that.
you see him beat
Yeah.
listen, you see him, you have him beat Big Show, you have him beat Mark Henry, and you have him
Yeah.
beat Jack Swagger. You're pissed because you're
Yep.
like, those are my guys. Why is he
Yep.
coming in here winning?
Yep.
Oh, I hate him.
Clearing them
Right?
too. He was clearing them, putting them all in that
Yes.
little move that he be doing, stretching their backs out. They had nothing that they could do.
Yeah.
I used to hate that junk. Like, dang, bro, he getting them to
Yes.
everybody.
I was like, man,
And
get
he
this
don't.
dude out of here doing a
The
freaking.
fact.
I seen him before. I'm like, what makes him even different? Right?
Yeah, the fact. Yep.
But yeah, that was it.
I
That was
remember when he
Larry
came to.
and
I
High House.
remember when he came to Mania on that tank. Different.
Oh, that was fire. I ain't gonna lie.
Yep.
That was
Yeah,
fire.
different. But that's
Man.
the, you know what I'm saying. That's the
Yeah.
war that's going on in the world. He got a
And
whole
what was also
tank,
kind of
bro.
like
That's
interesting about that
crazy.
point too is I'm like, they're trying to build him to be this guy who supports Russia, but I'm like,
No,
I know I just did research. I'm like, Lon's not Russian,
not
but
at
he grew up
all.
in Russia.
Right.
And how is you Russian? Dude, you Bulgarian. There's something about you that looks Russian. So why are you supporting Vladimir Putin?
Exactly. So yeah, it was
Why's that
yeah,
happening? Right?
yeah,
But yeah, there was some stuff. So I think to a degree, I think it's like from a black man's perspective, when you see a guy who's coming in being your guys that's American, you're kind of looking at WWE like, why y'all allow this to happen? Right?
right.
So I think that's
Hmm.
number one. And I think number two, if he isn't your cup of tea as far as what you see in wrestling, I get that too. But then
Yeah,
again, I ask the question, what is your cup of tea?
yeah. If that's the case, if
Now,
that's the case,
now this is going to sound crazy for me to ask, but is Jay Uso getting you hype your lane as far as your cup of tea?
mm,
Because if that's the cup of tea that you want, and fans are saying you online he sucks, and there's nothing about him that people are already saying he's overrated. I don't think Jay is over. Okay, I'm going a little too far. I don't think Jay. I don't think Jay is overrated. I'm gonna just say this right now. I remember I asked you that question like about 2 years ago. B that says he overrated.
oh
we
yeah, I
gotta
remember
talk about it.
we
We
had
gotta
it.
talk
We
about
had
it.
it on. I don't think that was one of them episodes that we didn't have
Yeah,
recorded.
we did it on live. We did it on a live outlet. I think
Yep,
I put it on a
yep,
live outlet. I
yep,
think so. I think I put it on the live outlet. Did I put it on the live outlet? I did put it on the live outlet. But anyways,
yep,
we talked about that. And we had a great discussion about that. And we made it clear, no, he's not.
yeah,
But in some aspects of what he can do in his game, it doesn't show this or that much.
right,
But if Larry's lane is more of like, I want people to get me fun, I want to be hyped. It's almost like how I compare it to hip hop when people are like, I love trap music. Why? Because it gets me hyped. I like to get turned. Boom, 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 blah, blah, blah.
right,
Okay. I'm the opposite. I like chill, conscious, lyrical rap. I like
right,
bars.
right,
But for some reason, I don't get everybody hyped. Oh, he said this
right,
crazy line. No one cares about that. People want to hear you banging. There's a banging in the whip. You know what I'm saying? So I
right,
think Larry's lane is more like, I need to be surrounded by that kind of like, aura, I guess you could say, right? And Jay
right.
Uso does have an aura. So there is that. Larry doesn't look at it from a true professional wrestling standpoint. And this is where I'm trying to get at. Gunther is a professional wrestler. He's
Hands
not a
down.
sports entertainer. You want to
Not at all.
talk about sports entertainer? Get out of my face.
Yep.
That professional wrestler. Hell, he probably might be a wrestler in real life. Scratch professional, bro.
Yeah, facts.
Right? Seriously. If you told me that man did collegiate wrestling back in his high school days, I would believe you. I believe you. Whatever.
I believe you 1,000%. Right.
I would completely agree with you. But my point is, I think if that's not your cup of tea, then Larry's not. He doesn't understand why me and you go. Gunther is such a great wrestler and he's killing it. Boom, 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 boom. He don't get that. In
Not
his
at all.
mind, this guy is just doing chops. He's doing
Right.
splashes. He's doing power bumps. I don't seen him before. Nothing really new. Why are we overhyping this guy? But we know. But me and you know. Me and you know. Me and you know what time it is already. So we ain't got to explain it no more. That's what it is.
Yep.
Yeah. Let me know, and just so you guys know in the comments, let us know if y'all agree with that assessment. If you disagree, let us know why. Okay? Please.
Right.
AJ Lee promo. Let's get to this. Okay, here we go. AJ Lee. A triumphant and celebratory new women's intercontinental champion, AJ Lee hit the ring to discuss her win over Becky Lynch at Chamber. She credited fans with believing in her all the way through her title win, and vowed to be a fighting champion. She promised to defend the title next time she was in the ring
All right, what
against
he say?
any Wonder Woman she mentioned, when she returned from her decade-long hiatus.
Right.
Ladies, show me what you got, she said to wrap things up. B. All right. Before I go right here and get into the top moments and takeaways, Beezy, how did you feel about the segment?
I feel like Carlito the way I just bit in his apple talking about AJ Lee. All right. The promo that I got with AJ Lee, I mean the problem. I don't think it was a problem. I think what the WWE has to understand with AJ Lee is AJ Lee's character is different. And what I mean by character,
Yeah.
the way she acts, the persona of the like she acts like she's like, oh, okay, well, I don't care, and this, and you know, it's not like a Rhea, it's not like a Jay, it's not, it doesn't come with authority. It comes with, uh, they need to put, they need to put a mean package behind her to make her promos look better than what it is. Like, yeah, we get that you like to skip, but right now, since you're the champion, stop skipping.
Oh
You know
no,
what I'm saying?
you can't take that away from her.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I would never take it from her, but what I'm saying is, you can be the just like we say the same thing with Cody. You can be the
Right.
champion, but also perceived as the villain as well. Don't come on super
Right.
soft all the time. And when
Right.
AJ Lee was doing that, when she was talking, you can tell that the crowd didn't give two craps about what she was talking about. But I think that's
Mm,
because of the character that she's playing right now.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like well, you know, I beat Becky in the ring. Yep, yay, and yeah, and I'm only been going a decade. Like stuff like that. It's like, bro, Maxine's is better than yours. What you call? What's my girl? Natalia. She's better than. Like, I'm not saying AJ Lee is bad because she did a heck of a job at Mania. What I'm saying is now since you're back, you're going to have to change that on the microphone. Or the fans is gonna be like, bro, this is the
The
popcorn break.
this you're stupid. You're stupid. I was,
Because when I was listening to her talk, I was just like, come on, AJ, I'm a fan of
so
you. But you talking and the character that you got, Becky Lynch is done. You're done with
so
Becky. So since you're done with Becky, we don't need to
mhm.
still hear. See, because this is the thing. We're only a fan. We're only, well, not. I can't say we, but I'm only a fan because I haven't seen you in a decade.
Mhm.
That's why I'm a fan. Not because of you skipping. That's cool. But not because of you talking on the microphone and playing the innocent, like, because that's like her role is like an innocent person. Wasn't my fault. Didn't do it. This me. That's how it comes off. So like with it being like that, I'm like, that's only gonna go so far if you gonna keep it. If you gonna stay around in the WWE, they're gonna have to change that because we heard a lot of silence in that promo talk. A lot
So
of
I'm a
silence.
so okay. So let me try to. I'm gonna try to keep this as brief as possible. But AJ, if you remember, BZ, do you remember how she was presented like back in the day?
Yeah,
So when she got to the main roster, she was an NC rookie, right? They had
right.
back before NC was the NC that we see now. People gotta understand, NC used to be a game show. It used to be a freaking game
Exactly.
show. It was
Yeah.
stupid, but that's what they did back in the day. And they had certain wrestlers, they had certain pros. You had pros, and then you had rookies. And I forget her pro. I think her pro may have been Vicky Guerrero, but I don't remember. But anyways, they had certain pros, and you had rookies. And AJ was a rookie, and she was cute. You know what I'm saying? She was, Puerto Rican, boom, boom, boom. She had like this kind of like weird looking outfit, but that was who she was. Okay, cool. They get her to the main roster, and then they start developing like this crazy, like she would start crying if some things didn't go her
Yep.
way, and she would just
Uh
trip
huh.
off and boom, boom, boom. And she
Yeah.
was just doing this, and then they made her a crazy chick, right? They start calling her the crazy chick,
Yeah. I remember.
and
Yeah.
then
She
it was
started
getting
snapping and
over.
stuff. Yeah.
And for
Right.
some reason, it got over well, especially during that time when you just had divas. There was no women superstars and
Right.
a Becky Lynch or a Charlotte Flair. It was just her, getting out, away. So I say that to say they came up with that character of her being loose in character, which is loosely based around her real life. She actually has,
A
I feel
kid
like
with a
she's
temper,
a kid with
a temper
bipolar.
tantrum. Yeah, kid like a
A
kid
kid,
with a
yeah.
temper tantrum. Yeah,
But she literally has bipolar disorder. Like I think she was diagnosed with that some years ago when she was like younger. But anyways, so they tapped into that and made that into her character. The thing is, and CM Punk liked it, and he was all for it. At one point, I saw something back in the day where it was just her and Punk, and she had me cracking up. She was like crying about something because Punk told her something that was very offensive, and then he hugged her, and then she stopped saying, and then he started saying something to her, and then she just started like getting real chill. She started crying, and what it was hilarious. I thought it was super fun. It was very funny. But anyways,
like a
um,
mental patient. Fact.
yeah, mental case basically, mental patient.
Uh-huh.
So her character is known for being a loose cannon, essentially, right?
Right.
And that's fine. But what AJ has talked about recently is the fact that she's gone therapy, right? I think she said that in one of her promos, and she comes across as being very awkward, a little ditzy, a little quirky, right? Which I
Uh-huh.
think works. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I like that because it's believable and it's her, right? However, I do agree to BZ's standpoint of it may just be just a little bit time for you to grow up
Exactly.
and protect and we're talking about, and just so people understand, we're talking about the character. We're not talking about her in real life. All
Right.
right,
Facts. Exactly.
the character needs to elevate a little bit more. I still think she's doing it and she is matured, but I can understand why people are like, bruh, like you do a little bit of this too much, you do a little bit of that too much. But one thing I can give credit to AJ, and I see a lot of women in WWE's, some women, not all women, but some women in WWE's division right now, in my opinion, BZ, sometimes they talk and they feel very forced.
Right.
When I hear AJ, and this is gonna sound crazy, and I watch her talk, I see how she enunciates her words. Her articulation is good, and because it's good, when she talks, I believe everything she says. I don't feel it's forced. I don't feel nothing about it as being like. Can you question it being a little bit corny? Yes, but it still feels believable though. So it's kind of like a. What I'm trying to get at, BZ, is like there's like a half and half with her.
Mm.
She's believable, but there's still some room to grow. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I don't
What do
know.
you think? What do you think?
The reason that for her being gone for a decade,
Right.
this is like it's like let me think. With her being gone for a decade, with CM Punk being gone for a decade, are we saying that CM Punk has the same characterish as he was since he's been gone the whole entire time?
I think CM Punk back then was more
Like the straight edge society compared to what CM Punk is right now.
right. I think yeah, good question, BZ. I think I think Punk literally had what's the old saying for a person that has lost everything? Oh, he had that nothing to lose mentality.
Right,
That's what Punk had back then. That was different. Nothing to lose mentality. Why? Because the system was against him and everything that he stood for.
right,
Now the system is for him, and they're not against everything that he stood for. They're accepting it now. Back
right,
then, it was more of like, no, we don't accept you. You're different. You need to be like John Cena. You need to be like Batista. And he was like, hell with that. I'm being me, right?
right.
I think that was the difference. And to your question, yes, he has grown.
And that's what I'm saying. So when you look at him, when he comes back, we knew how good he was back in the day. But we've
Right.
seen that he's leveled up and better since AEW and then all the way to back to the WWE. When you see
Yes.
AJ Lee right now looks still like the person, not looks, but she portrays still as the person that we seen when she came in from NXT. No change whatsoever. And I think that, like I said, the reason why I think the fans is in love with her right now is because she's been going for a decade. Why would you not? Of course you're going to love that.
Right.
But how long are they going to be cool with you just skipping around and giving okay promos? When they see legitimate dope women every week, they see legitimately Maxine got a new character. We seen how corny she was when she came in with the Alpha Academy. Look at what
Right.
she is now. She's not that no more. She's different. Natty
Yeah.
didn't switch from Natalia to the other joint that everybody been waiting on. That's different. You got the Jay Carhills now. You got the Rhea Ripleys now. You got the Becky Lynch now. You got the Paige. You got not the Paige, but the Baileys now. You got the Stephanie
Right.
Rock. You got all these different people.
Yeah. Liv Morgan. All them.
Like, yeah, you doing your thing and we rocking with it. But at the same time, if it gets think about it. Name a character in the women's division that's gonna get boring. None of them has got
Matter
boring
of fact, Liv Morgan to me is giving me AJ Lee vibes.
at the beginning. Yeah, I don't think we're giving it to her now.
I got you. Oh yeah. Yeah. You're
You know
right.
what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is everybody got their own lane. Now AJ is in her own lane at the same time, but we're not saying nobody in the women's division's lane is corny.
Right.
Nobody. Everybody is good.
Because it
Everybody.
works.
Because it's working.
Yep.
Yours is working, but it's working to an extent because when Rhea out there, everybody ain't quiet all the time. When Tiffany out there, everybody ain't quiet all the time. When Jay's out there, everybody ain't quiet all the time. When you was out there, the crowd should be going crazy the whole entire time because you ain't been there for a decade.
Mm.
And with you saying like, "Oh man, I've been going for a decade and I finally got the championship," and you get half the crowd clapping for you, you running into a problem.
Mm.
We're not in Chicago no more. Whatever you
I,
did in Chicago should be done
yeah.
in every city or every state. And if it's not being
Yeah.
done in every city and every state, you need to tweak something.
And this is good because people gotta understand this is not so much of like we're criticizing AJ Lee because we're like we're not a fan of AJ Lee, boom, 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 this,
Right,
that,
right.
third, or whatever. We're not saying that. What we're saying is it's 2026.
Yep, 2026.
It's not 2012, 2013, 14, or 15 no more, right? And by the way, no disrespect to those years. I love those years. I was still a fan of around time for those years, and I grew up around those years.
Right.
So we're clear, right? But to B's point is, we are in the age where it's like there's so many talented women, and AJ, you could get if WWE's not careful, they can get her lost in the shuffle very, very quick.
Very, very quickly. The only reason
Which
why I'm
could
saying
also
lost now is
warrant
because she's the champ.
right, which could also warrant, and this is what fans probably don't want to see. Eventually, you probably must see her turn heel.
Exactly. Probably what
So
fans
it's
don't want
like
to see, but that will create another character.
true, that's true.
We hope anyway.
Yep.
We hope now she walking to the ring walking and not skipping maybe. Or we hope that the music changes because at the end of the day, everybody got to change. You see the Usos and their music changed. They've been around for a long period of time. But their music, everybody has to change. CM Punk didn't
Yep.
change. But his character didn't change. His music didn't have to. But who he is as a person, it changed and everybody can accept it and understand it because they can see it.
Punk's matured, but he has a fully matured in ways about him that he's not willing to change, which is not a bad thing at times because if you think about it, you still gotta be you at the end of the day, right?
Exactly.
That's why Punk. That's why people gravitate to Punk because he comes across as real, as authentic as possible, and that's what I love about him. I like that, but it's at the same as that time, not
It's a
everybody
two
can
edged
be a
sword.
CM Punk,
Yep,
huh?
it's a two edged sword because it's like okay,
Exactly.
you can be that, but now you seem too cocky. Now you don't want to apologize to Seth Rollins and all this
Boom.
whatever.
But
What
that's
people would
why,
say
and that's
it's
why
too
he
much.
works because he has
Exactly.
so many perceptions about him. Do you love Punk? Do you hate Punk? Do you feel for Punk? Do you not feel for Punk? He's created like an orbit around him where it's like you're either for Punk or you're not for Punk. He's like this is a comparison I want to make CM Punk to, but I can't put up my finger as to who that person would be. Like who's CM Punk remind you of? If I had to say you got a person that loves you and hates you, you know what I'm saying, but at the end they just feel like an in between or whatever. Who
Mm.
does Punk remind you of?
Um, I don't know.
Who?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know? Yeah.
Mhm.
Good question. Good point.
Yep,
Good
and
question.
you
I
too.
was gonna say good question. Good point, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I don't know who he would remind me of. That's like, man, I love this person, but I hate this person at the same time.
White Piper.
Uh, um, I mean, some could say Cody Rhodes. Some can say that because
Some
you got
matter of fact, some can
because
say
you got
John Cena.
yeah.
John
Some can
Cena
say
too.
that too. Yeah,
Some can say Roman
some can
Reigns
say that
too.
too.
You still got
Yep.
people who say I still can't stand Roman Reigns.
I can't stand Roman
I'm
Reigns.
like, yeah, that's crazy, but okay.
Yeah,
Not me. Not me. But okay.
yeah.
Right? But that it just goes to show you that people are going to have their loves and not so much loves. Well, I don't know how to describe it. It's weird, but whatever. Um, Top moments and takeaways. Lee comes across as likable and natural, so it's no surprise. That's the thing. That's the word. That's the word. That's what she comes across to me. She feels
Likeable and
a lot
natural.
more natural as a
Mhm.
talker, in my opinion. She does. Um, so it is no surprise that an entire new generation of WWE fans have flocked to her in a way their siblings, mothers, fathers, and others elders did when she was dominating the women's division. That's crazy. Okay,
Yeah, that's crazy.
got it.
But all right.
All right, cool. Hey, did you see him, answer? Go take it. My mom said for you take it. Okay. All right. The open challenge stick feels repetitive, given how frequently. That's true. That's true. Given how frequently we see on SmackDown, but if it results in fun matches with Bayley, Lyra, Valkyria, Asuka, and more, then it is a booking crush this rider will happily endure.
That's a fact.
That's funny. He basically was trying to say like, I hate that stuff, but if it works,
For
okay.
everybody does, bro. Everybody do. But at the same time, it's like, hey, how you doing? What's your? Uh, hold on, Josiah.
I get it. I get that, but at the same time, the championship needs to be spotlighted a little bit more, which is why
What
there
is it?
was a good shout out to Just Alex again. He had a great point. There was no women's match on his card. I got to agree with that.
What you
Not
talking about?
one.
Raw? It wasn't a woman. Oh yeah, it
Yes,
wasn't.
there was
Yeah, you're
no
right.
women's match. I was like,
You
wow.
telling the truth.
I just now noticed that. I was so caught into Raw, I forgot. But
Yeah,
yeah,
you right.
there was no women's match, and there was no tag team match. I said, yeah.
Yeah,
This is true. This is true.
yeah, that's true.
Um, but yeah, man. And then we get a pre-tape promo from Liv Morgan, saw her relive her trials and tribulations on the
Yeah,
road to Star WWE, all while warning something about care of her resume ahead of their match at WrestleMania. I thought that was brilliant.
that was beautiful.
That took me back.
Yep.
Yeah,
Larry's
that took
calling
me
me.
back.
Come in.
Yeah, yeah, put him in.
Okay.